Hello fellow doodlers, it is currently somewhere in the 40s out here and I am in a car, which is probably somewhere in the 30s, and I am freezing my butt off to do this voiceover. Sorry about that, I guess I'm gonna be joined by my little sister for this voiceover. Can you say hi?
Hi.
This is gonna be a pretty fractured video considering 1, I'm distracted with my younger sibling, and 2, this is not scripted and all of this is coming to my head as I think of it. So, sorry. Hello and late Happy New Year's. Sorry I didn't have a video last week. I had some technical difficulties. But I'm back. I know I really should have a few videos queued up, but I hate deadlines and I am a huge procrastinator, so that may never happen. So, since it's the new year, I want to do a Meet the Artist. This was something I was planning on doing back in November, but I thought that doing it in New Year's would be a better idea. So this is gonna sound pretty cheesy, but I guess we'll start with my life story or my art story. I'm pretty sure I've always been into art. My mom would tell me that she would buy me these really big coloring books, like the really big ones that you have to draw on the floor, and she said that I would climb on top of them and draw on them. And that's probably going to stick with me for the rest of my life because I just find that so funny that I could still color the picture while I was sitting on it. I didn't really draw my own pictures in the early stages of my art life. I just colored things. And even when I colored things, I was always wondering why my parents could always color in the lines. And when one of my siblings were born, I was in the hospital with my mom visiting, and we had some people from our church come over. One of the people visiting from our church saw me coloring, and he said that I was pretty good, but did I know why I wasn't drawing inside the lines? I told him because I was young, and he said, it's because you're drawing too fast. I'm pretty sure that was the first change in the way I looked at art, when I started drawing slower and started actually drawing in the lines. Later, I started getting into drawing stick figures, and I made little stick figure comics. It was a comic about a group of people that discovered a tree stump that led to a big underground cavern, and they built little homes in it. I slowly developed from stick figures to drawing animals using howtodrawanimals.com, and surprisingly, I like to think I was pretty good at it, but I really did want to draw people, and it just wasn't happening. I couldn't draw people. I always ended up drawing crappy little stick figures. One day, my sister asked if I could draw her a fairy. So I went and I looked up how to draw a fairy, and the way that person described how she drew the body, it just clicked with me, and I was able to draw people from then on. They all sucked. They all looked absolutely terrible, but I was able to draw people with a basic understanding of anatomy. Before then, it was wiggly hands and stuff. It was bad. It was very, very bad. Then I got into drawing characters. And these characters were really just characters that popped out of my head and onto paper. They didn't have a story or a name, and eventually that started bugging me. So I started giving them names, but not stories. And then about a year after I was developing characters, I started getting into writing. And while my first project was a huge flop, I quit not even halfway through. I did get some experience from doing that and started actually planning on writing a whole-on book. And that gave me experience with creating stories. So I started creating characters with stories. However, until a year ago, they all looked the same, and I didn't bother with giving them specific personalities or different looks. So I've started doing that now, because I want to go on to be a character designer. So all the characters have to look different, but they also have to have looks that suit their personality. With this mindset, my character design sketchbook is chock full of notes, scribbles, everything. And then I saw what is called an animatic. It was an animatic to the song The Other Side, from Greatest Showman, and I watched it and I was mind blown. I wanted to do that. I really wanted to make something like that. So I started studying animation. At the moment, I am not very good at animation, but I do know that I love making the animatics, and I want to make more. So right now, I don't have an animation program, so I don't want to make any like long animatics to songs. That was what I was originally planning on doing. So what do you like to draw, Alice?
Fairies and princesses.
Fairies and princesses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are really cool to draw. Don't you like drawing fan art of Peppa Pig?
I love drawing Peppa Pig too.
You love Peppa Pig too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You draw her a lot.
And Patrol.
And Paw Patrol, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love those ones.
My turn to talk?
No, not yet.
Yes, it is my turn to talk. It's my video. I gotta talk. Can you be quiet for a little longer?
Okay.
Okay. So, my personality differentiates between when I am at home and when I am in public. Starting off, when I'm in public, I am the person who you will see in the very back, hanging out with like 1 or 2 people. All 3 of us are probably drawing or reading or writing or whatever I happen to bring that day. And when I say bring, I mean snuck or smuggled out of the house, because technically I'm supposed to be going to these things to socialize. I don't think I've ever heard of that word. However, if you come up and start a conversation with me, I won't shut it down. I will be very open and friendly to you. I've heard myself described as bubbly when I first meet new people, so I guess I'm fun to talk to. When I am at home, I am a freaking psychopath. I usually spend the day reading and talking to my sister, and we sort of fangirl about anime, mangas, books, anything that comes to mind, talk about songs. And then when we're not fangirling, we're reading, writing, or drawing. Whatever we're in the mood for doing at the moment. I enjoy teasing my siblings, messing with them a lot. But I'm also very protective over my siblings and will not let anyone freaking hurt them. So, back off. However, my little sister probably doesn't need anyone protecting because she has 3 older brothers, so you're gonna whoop some boy butt, aren't you? In a dress?
Not my butterfly one. I have a butterfly one.
You have a butterfly dress? Are you gonna kick some boy butt in your butterfly
No,
dress?
I don't have a butterfly dress. I only have a butterfly dress costume.
Are you gonna kick butt in your butterfly dress costume?
Mm-hmm.
Kick some boy butt.
This is Halloween again. That's my Halloween costume. And I was up in a chicken barn.
I live in Missouri on a small farm. I think it's about 30 or 36 acres of land. Most of it is woods. While at the moment I do not spend very much time outside, I do have the hobby of making shelters. And when I say shelters, I don't mean like apocalyptic or bomb shelters. I mean debris shelters, survival shelters, things like that. My favorite thing to draw is the front view face. It's my comfort zone to draw faces. However, the hardest part of the face is the mouth. And the part of the body that I'm struggling with most now is going to sound really weird, but I'm really struggling with the legs. I can never get them to look right. Either they look like freaking sticks or they look like someone stuck 2 sausages together. There's no in between. I will redo my legs over and over and over again before I think they look fine. Or at least straight up legs. For some reason, when they're in a different position, I can draw them a little easier. I started a YouTube channel so I could hopefully help other people with their art, so I could show other people my art and get feedback on it, so I could have a reference to see how I've developed in my art. Also, this pushes me to draw more since I have to post once a week. Still a big procrastinator. Still don't like editing the videos or making them. I just want to sit and do other stuff all day. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good idea to start a channel, and I hope it motivates me in the future, and I hope I consistently post, because one thing that really bugs me are people that start a channel and post like once a year. So I really want to not be that person. I live on a 30-acre homestead. I think it's 30 acres. It might be a little more. I have some dogs, chickens, bunny rabbits, and goats. I hope to actually introduce you to those animals later on. I've mentioned before that I just moved, and at the moment, I am living in an RV with a family of 8. I am the oldest of 6 kids. While I genuinely think that I am a nice person, I do have a short fuse when I have been in an enclosed space with loud mouths for a long period of time. The youngest of those 8 are with me right now. The middle ground. In anything in art, really, I am a middle ground person. Whether or not to use references or don't use references at all, trace, no trace, using certain art supplies, anything. I'm really a middle ground person. You would think that that makes me a peacemaker. However, I am incredibly defensive over my middle ground. Very. I have yet to go on a rant on anyone yet, but if anyone pushes me to it or asks me a question about it, I probably will go on a rant about my middle ground. My favorite part of any art process is the sketching. I love how free, fast, messy it can look, so when it's cleaned up, it looks really weird to me. So I really do like just leaving sketches everywhere. I don't specifically have a favorite medium, but I do like using pencils and watercolors. My least favorite part of any art process, in the digital process, is probably the coloring. I find the coloring boring, taking forever, very, very boring and time consuming, and I'm just ready to be done with it. In traditional art, it's probably the line art, because once it's down and it's not coming up. And I have 5 siblings that run around and shake the table. So you mess up, you're with that mess up for the rest of your life. My sources of inspiration usually stem from Pinterest. I like looking at other artists and their art. Some of my favorite artists are Tamitaka, Danica Sills, Drawing with Waffles, and Burge. One thing I always forget to do when I'm drawing myself is to draw glasses. So you're gonna see glasses just appear on me in the last bit of this video because I forgot to draw my glasses. I was going to sleep, I'm like, oh, I finally finished the picture, and then I wake up and realize I didn't put on the glasses. I never, ever draw myself in glasses until like the very, very end. Alright, I think that's it. Happy late New Year's. I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and a nice New Year's, and I hope to see you next week. Bye. Can you say bye?
Bye.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.